Alright, so this is the Angry Reviewer, and today I am bringing you a review that many, and I mean many, have requested from me for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. They want to know my likes, my dislikes, favorite character, favorite movie moment. I'm going to cram it all into this video the best that I can. If I miss out on some shit, oh fucking well, it's in my fucking review. And we're off. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is your typical Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I mean, what else did you expect when you go to a theater and you see the name Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 come across the screen? You didn't expect Wonder Woman. You didn't expect Spider-Man. You didn't expect Batman, Superman. Fuck, you didn't expect the Flash or Cyborg. None of those characters. You knew what you were getting. You were going to see a fucking talking raccoon, talking tree. You were going to see a guy that doesn't understand metaphors and doesn't get when jokes aren't funny. You're going to see a guy named Star-Lord trying to bang a girl named Gamora throughout the film. And you're going to see this girl named Gamora fending off Star-Lord's attractions to her. Here's the good of this film. The good of this film, well, what I have to say was good about this film, and I don't give a fuck. Y'all can see my room is kind of trashy, and it's my cat's shit box and her food and water bowl. I love my baby. What I will say is good about this film, I love the fact that the side characters that were side characters in the first film got more to do. Anybody who personally knows me or personally followed my channel and is in my movie group know I'm a huge Rocket and Groot fan. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Those are my two go-to characters when I watch Guardians of the Galaxy. And you know what? I wasn't disappointed. Hell, I even got the Rocket and Groot t-shirt. Why? Because, again, two favorite characters, Rocket and Groot. Love them. I love the fact that they gave Rocket more to do in this film. In other words, Rocket showed, even though he acts like a dick and he's an asshole, he still has a heart. He still cares. But he's one of those. You have to crack the nut to get what's inside. First you crack the shell, then you get what's inside. So that's Rocket. Baby Groot, what can I say? It's a fucking tree, man. A baby tree that looked cute as fuck. I love Baby Groot throughout this movie. I even love the part where he was eating his Skittles. And it was so cute. Or when Rocket gave him the bomb controller and told him what button to press, what button not to press. And he fucking, in the end, he showed that he can listen and he pressed the right button. I loved it when he got revenge on the guy that was pouring beer on him and treating him like shit. He just fucking went up to dude and went off and fucked him up. But, I mean, enough about that. And I love, okay, in this film, I also like the fact that Drax got more to do. He got more lines to say. I mean, Drax is Drax. There ain't a lot to say about Drax. Drax is Drax. Okay? Drax, he's the guy and metaphors go over his head. But you also know he has a soft side. The dude loved his wife. The dude loved his daughter. So, there's that. Loved his wife, loved his daughter. And it showed in this film. No matter how hard he was trying to be, he always found a way to bring comedic timing to scenes. But I mean, other than that, the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxies are their typical role that they played in the first film. Nothing changed, and I love that. If it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it. Then you have, I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. You're stupid if you didn't know that. Sorry to say. Going into this film, we all knew this was Star-Lord's movie. I knew it from the start. This was Star-Lord's movie. Basically, this is Star-Lord's movie of discovery. He discovered he had a biological father who was a douche, and Kurt Russell, aka Ego, the living planet. And I mean, let's be honest, the dude just felt slimy, and it was perfect. Because that's what a villain should make you feel. The villain should make you feel dirty. And that's what I like. And the fact that, spoiler alert, this dude was willing to sacrifice Peter Quill's brothers and sisters to keep his own self alive, that's a dick move right there. Then, when he did the most cold-blooded thing, without hesitation, without consequence, he looks right into Peter Quill's eyes and tells him, I loved your mother. Damn shame I had to put the tumor in her head that killed her. Felt bad about that. But it was like he didn't even feel bad about it. It was basically like, oh well. Because he knew he had other bitches out there in other parts of the galaxy. And that moment, when the camera focused on Peter's face, that moment right there told the whole story of what Peter was feeling. The rage, the anger, the betrayal, everything just in a facial expression. That right there was one cold bastard. That moment, Peter didn't give a shit who his dad was. He just fucking straight up gangland blasted this motherfucker. Just fucking goes out and was fucking blowing the fucker away. I mean, just straight up some shit you would see on A Menace to Society. Some shit you would see in fucking Gangland on Spike. This dude just whips out his fucking guns and just starts blasting the motherfucker. Just starts blasting. Till he was pulp. Now that was fucking straight up. Right there, that was some hardcore shit. And you want to talk about hardcore shit? Ego was a hardcore motherfucker. This dude just gave no fucks about anyone but himself or his kids. This fucker didn't give a shit about no one or nothing. All he cared about was himself. That's it. This fucker just cared about himself. He didn't give a fuck if he sacrificed his children, as long as he got his point across. That it didn't matter if they lived or died, as long as he sustained his life. That was some cold-blooded shit right there, and I loved it. I loved every fucking second of this movie. Every second of this movie I loved. I loved all of that. I loved the final battle with Ego. When Baby Groot finally got it and he did what he was supposed to. I loved, spoiler alert, the self-sacrifice of Yondu. Yondu may not have been Peter's biological father, but he was more like a stepdad to him. And I got that when he said, I may not be your blood, but I'm still your pappy. Basically, in the time that Peter spent with Yondu, the reason he didn't give him the ego, because he loved him like a father would love a son. He basically made Peter his adopted son. And Peter finally got that in the end. He finally realized you don't have to be blood to be family. I mean, shit, I say that all the time on Facebook. You don't have to be blood to be family. You can be family just because. There's so many best friends out there that are family, and they're not blood, they're just best friends, but they've been together so long and hanging out so long that they treat each other like family. Now, the end credit scenes. Let's dive into that. I thought it was hilarious seeing Groot as a preteen. I love the fact that Yondu finally got his Ravager burial. I thought that was fucking tight. Because the Ravagers finally realized Yondu did what he was supposed to do. He did what any of them would have done if they were put in his situation. A life for a life. And Yondu didn't go out like no bitch. Yondu just went out fucking straight jacking motherfuckers. So that was fucking tight. And I love the fact when he got his red fin that looked like a mohawk. A spoiler alert. And he was just fucking badoosh, 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 badoosh with that fucking pin. Badoosh, badoosh, badoosh. Fucking taking out Ravagers just left and right. Him and Rocket back to back. Badoosh, 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 badoosh. This fucking shit up. That was fucking awesome. And Baby Groot too. Again, I cannot say enough about that character. See, the ending credit scenes, I like them. So we all know, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie, we're getting Adam Warlock. They showed Adam Warlock in his cocoon. So, hint, hint, possibility, he'll be in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 along with Sly, leading the Ravagers. You know, then we got to see a little nod to the fact that Stan Lee has a cameo in every Marvel movie. And when they showed him talking to the Watchers, he was talking about how he was a delivery man in one movie, reference to Iron Man. And for those of you that didn't get it, so basically what they're trying to say with that nod is Stan Lee ties every Marvel movie together because he's a Watcher ultimately himself. For those of you that didn't notice, and the ones who've seen this movie did, Howard the Duck, straight up props. They showed his dog. Straight up props to them for that. I love the fact that Mantis was, even though she was a grown-ass woman, she still had her innocence. She was like a child. Her and Drax played off of each other so fucking well. So fucking well. So well. I thought it was awesome. To me, that was awesome. But that's to me. You know, the other cameos that we got with the Ravagers, the Stan Lee cameo, the preteen Groot, the Adam Warlock. I mean, what else do you need? We got 5 cameos altogether, and all of them were worth it. So be sure to stick around and see these. Spoiler alert. The only thing that kind of took me out of this movie for a few seconds, but the comedy and the action made up for it, was when Ego was going to his celestial form, astral form, where he wasn't in human form, but he was more like in the astral plane. That shit made me think of fucking Blade 1. Also made me think of fucking X-Men. Apocalypse. When Xavier was battling Apocalypse with Jean in the astral plane. I mean, it's cool to look at. The visuals are fucking awesome. But on the downside, it takes you away from the character. You want to see more of Kurt Russell wrecking shit in his human form than you do in him in his astral form. But that's just a small nitpick on me. For me, a small nitpick. Let's talk about Nebula. I love how they showed and they focused on the rocky relationship of Nebula and Gamora. And I loved in the end how her and her sister had it out, Nebula and Gamora. And she finally got that all-elusive victory that she wanted. But at the ending of the day, Gamora realized what Nebula really needed was a sister more than a rival. And I love the fact that they focused on her history with Thanos, which they're gonna fuck that guy up, of course. They got to. That's coming. But yeah, I love the fact that at the end of the day they showed that they were family regardless. And I like that saying, no matter how much you yell and you may fight with one another, y'all are still family. Families do that shit. But that doesn't mean they love each other any less. Well, this was just my review to sum up the movie, what I thought. If I have to grade this movie, the first movie was an A. This one was an A++. Because it focused on 3 of my favorite characters. Rocket, Groot, Drax. Not taking nothing away from Star-Lord or Gamora, Michael Fassbender as Yondu, or Nebula. It's just, those were the 3 that I liked. Those were the 3 that I got. So, that is the reason this film got such a high rating. A lot of the jokes were hit or miss. I mean, you're either going to get them or you're not. Some of them were inappropriate. Some weren't. Some of them were ill-timed. Some weren't. All in all, you take your fucking family to see this film, you're going to love it. It's going to be awesome. I think you'll enjoy it. But that's me. I'm me. You're you. I'm out. Big shout out to Michael Coleman, Troy Foote, and Jason O'Connor, Mitchell A. Shayless. Big props to y'all. Keeping it real. Out.